used to send students, if I was teaching at Berkeley at Stanford, I would send them here to consider grad school because I knew the quality of the education. And I think that comes from the, I'm going to call it the founding fathers of this institution. And wouldn't it have been fun to figure out with Arthur who the most interesting artists might be to create this sort of foundation for a great program.
We both do have scientific backgrounds.
Yes, I was to be a doctor once.
Yes. But
Now I'm a pharmacist.
she's a pharmacist, she's a registered pharmacist.
I went to Berkeley, then I went to UC San Francisco.
Very impressive.
And in fact, when I worked in the summer, I'd always work as a pharmacist around the Bay Area.
While I became a student.
When Arthur came here, he came with a passion, and Molly shared in it. I'm not saying they're quite a vaudeville team, but there is a kind of theatricality to their personalities.
When I think of Arthur, I think of a lighthouse. I think of someone who is clear and shining and endures and keeps on saying, this way, great art is over here. And like on a really murky day, I call up Arthur and get some of his light.
You know, as you mature and see the rest of the world, and then you find out what you really are. And of course, that happened for me, although I had my little sidelines, as I said, the shoe business, you know.
I was in the shoe business too.
I know, darling.
I think Arthur and Molly are visionaries, partly because they're fed by the students here at UCSD.
As you know, the department has a very high reputation amongst the best in the country. Many people say the top 3. And this has come over many, many years of wonderful faculty members and marvelous students.
I love watching the respect that everybody immediately jumps to when they see Arthur and Molly. You know, he's kind of a legend in the field. Everybody knows about him, and a lot of times he'll come into rehearsals and just kind of watch a couple of minutes, say hello to people, and when he walks out, people say like, that was just Arthur. That was just Arthur Wagner who was in our rehearsals. You know, he has a place in the field along with Joe Papp and Hallie Flanagan, one of his teachers, and like kind of the greats in 20th century theater.
We have always said that we have trained theater artists, and so our students have been in regional theaters and Broadway theaters all over the country. And so there are actors like Jefferson Mays, who's a Tony winner, who's going to be on Broadway next year. Danny Burstein, who has 4 Tony nominations in 4 years. There are a number of designers who work Broadway all the time, of course, especially Robert Brill, who was an undergraduate here. Was my first designer here when he was about 12.
There are no fixed boundaries here. There are no rules. There are opportunities here at the university. Every time I come back to the university or working here at the Loyola Playhouse, I always see Arthur. It's been a great relationship to have over the past, 25, almost 30 years now.
Our effect is felt throughout the country, not in a limited Hollywood way or in a limited New York way, but in a total country way.
I was thinking about what makes the Wagners so unique. And it's not only their generosity, but it's also they imbue a sense of idealism that permeates the entire faculty and the students as well.
One of Molly and my greatest pleasures is the dance building, because it's not very usual that a campus, an academic campus, has a freestanding dance building. Usually it's part of a gymnasium or something of that sort. But here are these 3, beautiful studios that are in the theater district. That makes it very special for that dance theater part of our work. And so the dance program, we started the program in about 1972, and the dance program began in about 1990. And again, has established its reputation. So now we are a Department of Theater and Dance. We were originally a Department of Drama, then we were a Department of Theater, and then we were a Department of Theater and Dance.
His inaugural vision is still very much a part of why we are able to develop young artists. So the fact that both our undergraduates and our graduate program as well have access to the La Jolla Playhouse is absolutely key to their training.
And the Playhouse, again, I can't, say how important that partnership is and has been. And we've been at it for 30 years. Sharing facilities, not an easy thing to do. It's hard enough sharing a bathroom.
Everybody is in the relationship together, so committed to creating art together, to giving the students more access to the art, to finding ways for the university and the Playhouse together to announce to the world this is a partnership that makes both institutions stronger.
In academia, when you're an academic, you don't choose where you're going to go. You go where the work is. And to be able to come to a place like UCSD, at the time that it was still expanding, there were wonderful resources. I had so much support from the scientists on this campus when we were beginning the program in 1972, when we were only 4 faculty, and we're about 30 faculty now. So it has been the experience of being on this campus and all the wonderful colleagues in the department. I just was fortunate enough to be the first. That's the only thing that I can take pride in. And the fact that, of course, I ran the acting program for all the years that I was here.
I must also say that Arthur is the most generous person I have ever met.
Oh my goodness, in front of the whole world?
You really are.
Oh, that's so sweet. Will you marry me?
Want to make it legal?
Their generosity is extraordinary, and the fact that places all over campus are named after them is partly due to how generous they've been and partly due to the respect that I think people feel about them. And there's nobody whose name you'd rather walk under to create art than the Wagners.
So wouldn't you say that's it? The fact that we ended up at UCSD, in a beautiful place like San Diego, we feel very, very fortunate. Very.
I think we're lucky ducks.
You want to quack on that?